Yeah, they're coming off a big win last night, so I'm sure they'll come in confident. Last game for both teams before the break. Everybody always wants to go into break feeling good with a win, so I'm sure they'll be hyped about that. They've played a tough schedule, just like everybody that's come in here. These teams recently, they've played top 25 opponents. They played BCS schools, so their record's not necessarily indicative. They play hard. I'm really been impressed by how hard they play. They fight no matter what. They play multiple kids. They go 10 or 11 deep into their bench, and there's not much of a let up. So they're very similar in a lot of ways. So for us, most importantly, is that we continue to make progress. We have to continue to advance tomorrow. I want us to be really sharp going into break because we've been talking a lot about it's close to Big 12 play, and that's our focus, is getting ready for Big 12 play. So these are tune-up games for us, and we need to make sure that we stay very businesslike and focused and advance areas that we're really working hard on in practice, and that's really what I want to see.
You mentioned kind of the last game, which the strong start you had and the strong finish, trying to get that consistently throughout the game. What have you been working on in practice specifically to get that more consistency throughout the whole game?
Yeah, it's just the competitive fight that it takes consistently, and you have to sustain that, and also just growing and understanding that teams aren't going to give in when you get a lead. We're too high of a level for that, and I think just understanding that, even for our returners that haven't been in that situation much, is that you have to continue to fight and battle throughout. Even if you're up 20, teams are going to continue to battle at this level. And even someone adjusting like a Chrislyn Carr from high school, you get up 15 in high school, game's over, right? So it's just adapting to that and understanding that it's a good position to be in. It's a good problem to have. Just making sure that we handle that better.
Anything else for Coach?
Coach,
Hey,
do you feel like you're battling Santa Claus a little bit, or has the success that the team has had kind of given them a lot of momentum, and they really look forward to playing and don't really want the time off?
Yeah, I think this time of year, I think they're always ready for a little break, and just being able to go home is a big deal to all of them. So I think, for us, it's just to keep them focused through the game tomorrow and then enjoy that little break. We'll be right back on the 26th. So I think you have to manage that every year with basketball teams, because you play right up until the break, and they are thinking about going home and excited about going home. But you also talk a lot about, going home feeling good about it and going home with that win.
How would you assess kind of where you are today versus kind of what you thought where you'd be at the start of the season?
Yeah, I can't say that I really thought we would be any particular way. I think for us, we've been taking it day by day, game by game. We're still learning our team. They're still learning us. And I think for us, we're very determined to win, though. I want to be very clear about that. And we want to take care of our business, and we have opportunities to win. And, we're only a few possessions away from being undefeated at this point. And I think that, for us, it's the daily approach to making sure we're advancing.
The rotation is tightened up quite a bit. Is obviously that's by design, but do people have the opportunity to play themselves back into that rotation, and is that something they have to do through practice?
Without question. It's wide open always for that, and they earn it in practice. If they earn our trust in practice at this point in the year, they will be out there, and they know that. We've been very open about that. So if they compete properly and do what we're asking in practice, the minutes will come, and the minutes can grow from that.
And that's something you really want, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
You don't want everybody playing 35 minutes.
No, ideally we would like to go deeper into our bench, and we're challenging them daily at practice, and we're hoping that they can respond at a level that we can put them out there.
Is Sid available Saturday, or is she out?
Yes, we'll know more later today. So right now we're not sure. Yeah.
It makes us want to play more, especially develop our defense more and bring more energy every game.
With the way that you guys were able to kind of establish a little bit of consistency in this most recent game, how much does that sort of give you guys momentum, just kind of being able to sort of settle into a groove, especially now as you're heading into the break and then you come back and have one game?
Like I said, it all starts on defense. So defense gives us energy and makes us ability to give us open shots. So I think that's a big key to the game.
Is there anything you look for specifically being the last game before conference play really gets going? Does that factor in at all? Just something that you look for from yourself or this team heading into it?
I would say transition-wise, just getting the ball off the court really quick and getting good shots off.
Anything else for Steve?
Did you watch that men's game?
Yes, it was crazy. It was a good game. I thought we were going to pull through.
I did too.
Me
How
too.
cool is that to be able to watch what the men's team has done? And I know that you you obviously watched them last year, but just being able to kind of know those guys and know what they've accomplished and all that they've been able to do really in the last 2 or 3 years.
I mean, they're amazing. They bring energy to the court every game, and they prove something every game. So I think that's really good and really amazing to watch.
What do you learn from watching them, just for your game?
I would say their moves, especially Jared's. He makes crazy moves, and I look up to him, and I just like watching him play.
They're a very aggressive team. They're very athletic. They have great shooters on their team as well who have depth and who have great precision. So that's what we have really been focusing on these past 2 days when it comes to their team. They bring it in, and they go all out for 40 minutes straight. And even their bench players will probably bring energy for them as well, which is something that we have to make sure we match. And they bring it all through and through. So that's something that we're trying to focus on when it comes to scout, is just being able to know personnel and know who's out in the court every single time.
It's a tremendous rebounding for you the other day. What has inspired you with just the ferociousness with which you're playing?
I know that rebounding has always been something that I take great pride in. So not in just games, but also practices, I really try to focus in on that and dial in on it. Coach really asked that of me a lot, and I know my teammates ask of me as well. So I try to bring it, not just in games, but also in practices. I make sure they hold me accountable. They don't see me crashing. I want my teammates to get on me about it. I don't want to just hear from the coaches, because we're holding each other accountable on this team, and that's what matters most at the end of the day. And when it comes to that, I mean, whenever the bright lights are on and we hit this hard floor for an actual game, it shows.
And then your ability to put it back up. I mean, you got a double-double the other night. Is that something you've been working on, your inside game, your shot, just once you get the rebound going straight back up?
Yes, I've been working on my composure, making sure I'm patient whenever I do get the rebound, seeing if I have a shot blocker over me, if I need a pump fake or just pass it back out. I need to be smarter with that, and that's something that I've really been trying to focus in on in these past couple games, because a lot of times, I'm not under control, which is something that I need to get better at, because it's an extra possession that I'm giving my team. So why throw the ball away once I get it under control? So that's something that I usually try to focus in on, is if I have another layup to go right back up, or if I have to just pull it out for my team.
Is that something you're talking to yourself about? Just, hey, just slow down, Zuri, just a little bit, and not kind of play within yourself?
Yeah. I usually tell myself to just let the game come to me. If I try to rush it and try to get to the game, I never really have a good game, because I'm not patient. But whenever I let the game come to me, everything else just all falls in place.
I think it's super important. I think it's like the perfect amount of time. You don't want more than 3 days, definitely not if you have a game coming up. And so I'm really grateful that we get to go home, and that the NCAA helped us provide for sending a lot of our players home. So that was a big time. And the school as well. The school really helped us out. So.
What's your favorite Christmas tradition that you do with your family?
I don't really know if we have any traditions, but we open PJs on Christmas Eve, and that's what we sleep in. But I usually don't sleep in them because I get really hot when I sleep, so it's the thought.
Are they long enough though?
Yeah, my mom does a good job. Sometimes she'll make them, so yeah.
Love it. But what do you guys see in Texas Southern tomorrow, and what's sort of the game plan heading into today?
They push in transition. They're really, really hard workers, and they've got a couple of really, really good shooters, and so we're gonna have to show our defense on the three-point line, and then just own up in transition and make sure that we're doing our job.
How proud are you of this team and where you guys are at this point compared to where you were a year ago, and the fact you've already won as many games as you did last year?
Yeah, I think I actually forgot about that. I forgot she'd mentioned that. We've already won as many games as we did last year. It makes me really, really proud of just our team and how hard we've worked, and then also just fills you with a lot of hope for conference and what we're going to accomplish.
You feel like you have momentum, even you personally?
Yes.
And where's that coming from? Is it the confidence that you got in the extra strength, or the practice, or just the success you're having?
I think it's just the hard work that we've put in. I think we can always fall back on that, how hard we've worked in the summer, and then how hard we've worked in this little period as well, and preseason, and we can always fall back on that. Whenever you get in a rut, just think, hey, I've already done all this. So.
How satisfying is it as Zuri's teammate to watch her go off and have a game like she did with 20 rebounds? I mean, that's a big deal, especially considering all that she's been through just in the last few years with her injuries, and just the way that she's kind of had to fight through a lot of adversity.
I'm so proud of Zuri. I think she's really shown her true colors. I think she hasn't been able to do that every year that she's been here. I think this year, it was the perfect year. It's her senior year. She gets to show what she's made of and go out with a bang. And it's always nice to have her. I was slacking on the boards last game, and she really picked it up. So I was very proud of her and thankful that she did that as well.
Does that, her performance, does that kind of inspire you guys, and does that will you guys, because you kind of see what she does with what she has and getting like the 20 rebounds or the points or anything along those lines?
Yeah, it really inspires us just to see how she leads on the court and with her voice as well as a senior. She's really done a great job with her leadership and inspiring all of us. So.
You mentioned how Texas Southern's being the transition game and everything. For you specifically, is that a big focus that when you use these different rebounders get the ball to really push it and get the ball out quick?
Yes, definitely. I think that's a big point of emphasis is to push the ball and use our speed. We love teams that can run with us. It challenges us, and so I'm excited to see how we own up to it. So.
Last question, what did you think about that game last night? How cool is it to be able to watch the men play in an arena like that against a team like Duke?
It was so cool. We all went to Chili's, a couple of us, and there's a bunch of Lubbock locals there, and they're like, oh yeah, y'all play late. Anyways, we were so proud of the guys, and we thought that they really fought like super hard, and Jarrett showed up, and that was big time, and a lot of them made great plays. 8 charges, that's awesome. Loved that. So it was a lot of fun to watch.